Okay, it's the 28th of Jan. It's a Tuesday. We've got about 30 minutes to the NY Open. Going to get to the charts in a second. Yeah, good. All right. Just check sound. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the news calendar. Okay, so we've got news in about 2.5 hours from now. Not important. Not an important news event. And then on Wednesday, during the latter half of the NY session, we have the federal funds rate. For me, it's according to my time zone, it's on Thursday. It falls on Thursday, but it's actually on Wednesday. If you're in if you're looking at Eastern Standard Time, then it's Wednesday. The latter half of the New York session is the federal funds rate, and then 30 minutes after that is the FOMC press conference, right? So those two events should bring in volume and should also bring direction for the week. But today there is nothing, and first half of New York session tomorrow there is nothing. Okay, um, let's go to our daily chart. All right, let's see what's done, what price is done on the daily. So we've closed bearish. Yesterday we closed below 2750. Let's look at the weekly candle. The weekly candle has no top wick, right? Hardly has any top wick. So which means this weekly candle is very likely to go up and create that top wick. Very likely to do that, right? That the same candle is because as soon as it opened yesterday, it created it pushed down without creating a top wick. Hardly any top wick, right? I don't consider that as much of a top wick. But also, if it does close bearish, then the next candle could push up to grab liquidity above this weekly candle high, right? That also could happen, or the same candle this week could push back up to create that top wick. Now, on the daily, we've got a little more information than the weekly. Um, just a second. Yeah. Uh, one sec. All right. Uh, on the daily, we have a little more information than the weekly. We've got these wicks here to the left. All right. As you can see, these wicks, price rejected these areas. These are on the daily time frame. There's a wick here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks, and that's exactly what's happening right here now. Okay, we're rejecting this area, right? Um, Price, there's a wick there as well, so there is some sort of a daily support level there. I'm not going to mark those levels because I've marked only the weekly support resistance levels here, but there is some daily support that's price is reacting to. It tested it once, it's testing it for the second time. Now we'll probably go down to the 4 and the 1 and see, have more information. Let's go to our trading chart. Now I always do a recap before I start drawing the zones. I do a recap of what happened yesterday. So price did continue down. I think price opened somewhere here, and I said that we are heading down. We've already touched in the pre-NY session. Price has already touched the liquidity candle, and we've created M30 resistance right here. So we are heading down, and I said all of this yesterday that we are heading down towards the Asian low first, and then possibly towards the London low. If we close below if a 15-minute candle closes below the Asian low, we're heading towards the London low, and that's exactly what happened, and we came down, right? And I also so just show you what happened on the 50 minutes. That's exactly what happened, right? So we closed below the Asian low. You can see that closed below the Asian low, and then price just pulled back up and continued all the way about 100 pips more to the London low, and then we continued further down. And I said for those who want to buy, wait for M30 support to form. So M30 support form right there. That was the pullback on the M15. You could have taken a trade on this pullback here. Stops underneath there would have a very small stop loss, maybe a 20, 24, 23 pip stop loss possibly, and price pushed up a good 125 pips, right? And it's likely it headed back to the EMAs because that's an area of liquidity. So always go back to this. These EMAs are an area of liquidity for session trading, right? So price did go back and touch the EMA, so that would have been the exit point somewhere there, and that the exit would have been today, or you could have exited here yesterday, somewhere here or here or here, any one of those areas, but that would have been the trade, right? About 110 pip move up with about a 24, 25 pip stop loss at most. Price could head towards 2750. That's another area of liquidity, but let's see what will happen today. Okay, let's get rid of all of these. Okay, okay, that's good. So price hasn't touched this zone yet, so I'm going to leave that zone. I think that zone covers the one yeah, it covers right at the top there, which is great. Okay, so that zone is untouched. Price hasn't touched it yet, so let's just leave that. Let's extend it to the right. Extend the liquidity candle to the right as well. These labels across. Okay. Right. So now let's start. Let's start with supply first. Okay. Let me get rid of this one. Yeah. Yeah. Keep that. Okay. Um, let's start with supply. Okay. So we have a rally here and a clean drop here. Um, this could be considered a base. This could be a drop, two base-in candles and a drop. Um, let's mark that for now. Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at it on the 1 hour later. Yeah. Okay. Um, so let's go to the 1 hour now. Yeah. Let's keep it that way. So this is the drop. So you had a rally, four base-in candles, and a drop, and then that's a drop, two base-in candles, and a drop again. Okay. And price should be heading up. There is no top wick on this candle. This candle was created yesterday, no top wick, so we should come up. Let's put the numbers there. Open as 465, 203, 465. Okay, so that's the closest supply level right there. We'll have to adjust this zone now. This price has stepped it. 203. Okay, let's get rid of this liquidity candle for now. All right, we've got demand here. Let's get rid of this as well. We'll redraw these. It'll be good practice as well. Extend this to the right. Yeah, okay. Now we have created some sort of H4 support here that price is reacting to. So price has created a support level here on the 4 hour. That's very close to that level and these wicks here, and price is testing that area. So it needs to break through here to get down, to go further down. But we could see a pullback before that, okay? Because we are creating support now. We're creating a new 4 hour support. There's 4 hour support created here and 4 hour support created here. So now if we make a higher high, that means we're making higher lows and higher highs, and we're heading higher on the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, right? But let's go look on the 1 hour time frame what we have. So we've created a demand level here, a drop, a base, a rally, right? And that's exactly where price has tested. So this open is of this candle is 473, this low is 478. Yeah, so we've kind of tested that area and we're trying to push up, right? So we need to see a higher high here to confirm that price is heading higher. Okay, but let's mark this on the 1 hour. So this is a 1 hour demand level. It's not a 4 hour demand level. There is 4 hour support here, but there is no clear 4 hour demand here, right? It's because it's all side by side. It's clearer on the 1 hour unless we take in this. Yeah, let's unless we do that. Let's look at 30-minute. Yeah, we've tapped into that zone. Perfect demand zone. Drop 2 basin candles in a rally. Price tapped into it. We're trying to push higher. Uh, yeah, I'm going to cover. I'm going to use this as the zone. Stick on the 1 hour again once more. It's really ugly. Just candles moving side by side. Becomes very difficult because there is no clear leg out. If there is a clear leg out, then it makes things easier to draw the zone. But there is no clear leg out because candles are closing side by side. So we'll have to go with the 4 hour. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to use this as the leg out. So these 3 basin candles, 705 and low is 059. 059, sorry, close 070, 070. Okay, all right. And let's extend these to the right. These are zones from last week. I'm not going to redraw them now, but I'm going to just extend them to the right. So that we cover a 400 pip area to the downside and a 400 pip area to the upside. I don't think price is going to move that much today, but in case it does, we're covered. Okay, done. I usually cover about 300, 350 pips to the upside and downside in terms of zones. So it makes it easy, right? If price gets to these areas later on after the NYSE session, after the NYSE open, I'm not caught by surprise because I know where price is going. The purpose of these, I say this always over and over again, the purpose of drawing these zones, the purpose of drawing H4 supply demand zones, identifying high liquidity zones and marking out the high liquidity candle inside those zones is to have a roadmap. That's it. That's the reason to have a roadmap so you know if price goes through one liquidity level, then where it's going next, because it will go until it collects liquidity to go in the opposite direction, right? So if you look at yesterday, exactly what happened, if you watch the last 15 minutes of yesterday's stream, price went through these liquidity levels until it found enough liquidity at a level to go the other way, right? That's exactly how price moves every day. Now, um, okay. So the next thing, now we have a new zone here and a new zone here. Let's see if these are high liquidity zones or not, right? These two new zones that we draw. So basically, I'm looking to see if it's taken out an opposing zone. So this demand here, has it taken out anything to the left? The move up? No, it hasn't, right? Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it has. So there's a drop, two basin candles and a drop there, and price has taken out that it's taken out that supply on the M30 time frame. I go down to the M30 at most. I don't go down beyond that because sometimes the zones are not visible on the 1 hour, right? So there is a break there. So we go down whenever you see a break here, that there is a chance that there could be a zone there, right? And that's exactly what it is. That 1 hour break is a 30-minute zone, right? And this move up took out that high, right? So that was a zone. It's a 33, 34 pip zone, was taken out by this push up. So this making this a high liquidity zone. So gonna okay. Right. Now this zone here, again on the 1 hour, 4 hour, let's take a look at it on the 4 hour. Save this. Uh, did this take out anything? Yes, it does. It's very clear on the 4 hour. So this drop, base, drop here. These two candles drop. This is a very nice zone to look for a trade from, right? Because it's that waterfall effect. You have the rally base drop. That's one form of supply, and then you have the drop base drop. The drop base drops are far better areas, um, in my personal experience, to look for trades from, right? So, and also there are two uh, candles out of the zone, right? So this is a strong move, 4 hours, a very strong bearish move out of that zone, two 4 hour candles. So as I said at the beginning, there should be liquidity above this 4 hour candle. So we should head up to above this candle, right? And we might come here and then we might continue to push down. Let's see. But even if you do push down, we got to be careful. 2750 is right there. So whatever you do, it's like trying to start your car 5 feet away from a wall and trying to drive. You're going to hit that wall, and that's exactly what 2750 is. It's that wall. So if you do get a sell from here, be careful. You're going to drive into that barrier. Price is going to drive into this 2750. So be very cautious of that. Um, okay, so this has taken out this demand to the left. We had this demand zone marked out yesterday. Um, um, it's a drop and a base in candle and then a rally, and this move down took out that demand. So this is also a high liquidity zone. Okay, right. Okay, so next thing to do is now if price does dip in here, we want to see where is price reacting right now? And if it does come back, is there a high liquidity candle here to continue to push price up, right? Is it going to come back to a certain candle or not? That's the purpose of finding a candle inside this, where a price level base. I'm looking for an area where price will come to, and if it is to retrace to or pull back to, where is that area, right? So we go to the 1 hour, we're looking for the largest bullish candle, right? Go down to 30-minute. So this is the largest candle for now, 72 pip candle. It's a 55 pip candle. Let's mark this for now. Let's go down to the 15-minute. 50 pips. 44. Okay, so it's this candle. That's the candle price is reacting to. Perfect. Okay, that's how to identify a liquidity candle. That's the candle. You can see price has reacted to it. It's pushing up from it. Okay, that's a liquidity candle right there. So if it has found enough liquidity here, then it doesn't need to come back again. It doesn't need to, if it's found enough liquidity. But if it hasn't, then it could pull back to this candle, grab liquidity, and continue higher, because the candle is a 49 pip candle, almost a 50 pip candle, let's say, and it's come only 13 pips into it. So there's more than 50% of that candle left. So there is liquidity left in that candle in case price needs to come back, grab liquidity, and push up again. Okay, let's put the numbers on that. 609, 112. 609, 112. All right, perfect. Now, let's look at the zone below. We've got still a good 20 minutes. We've got a few minutes. Yeah, we got 10 minutes to the NY Open, and then we have another 15 minutes after the NY Open before I start looking for setups. So let's look at the 1 hour on the zone below again, right? I had done this a few days back, but let's do it again here. There's a 1 hour candle there. It's a 105 pip candle. There is this, which is a 81 pip candle. Let's go down to 30-minute. It's a 49 pip candle, a 58 pip candle, 57. Possibly this candle right here. Just look on the 15-minute. The story changes. $46. Yeah, there's nothing on the 15. It looks very ugly on the 15. So that candle, 48. Yeah. Yeah. This candle, just the failure to get back into that candle. We tapped it here. Yeah, that's the candle. Yeah, happy with that. Yeah, this one, 15-minute candle, 574099. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we are pushing up. We should get, we might struggle to get above these wicks. And then again, once we get above these wicks, we've got 2750. So today is going to be tough because 2750 is right in between these two zones in the middle. So it's a problem for buys and it's a problem for sells. Sorry, right? Because going up, we're going to hit that barrier. Coming down, we're going to hit the barrier again. Uh, so today, since this goes right in between these two zones, it's a little problematic. Anyway, if price comes here, let's do the same thing. If it comes here, where is the largest candle? So there is this 1 hour candle here, which is a 112 pip candle. There is that, which is a 97 pip candle. So for now, that's the largest one. So still a 111 pip candle. 30-minute, let's just mark this out. Let's go on to the 15-minute. $67 pips. 60. Also 60. 72. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's possible that there are two liquidity candles in here. $73, 66. Hmm. Let's go down to the 5-minute. No top wick. No top wick. Yeah. If we break this high, we're heading straight up to create a top wick on the daily. Keep that in mind, right? So it's a daily candle, right? So the daily candle high and the weekly candle high is obviously same, 72.63, right? High 72.63. Yeah. So yeah, that's this high. So once we break, if price breaks this high, 59.55, 59.55 or 59.50, right? 2759.50. If you break 2759.50, we're heading all the way up. That's another 140, 150, even 150s, or even 160 pips up. We're heading up to this zone here. So we're going to take a look at this zone and draw the liquidity candle on that, because this is the high that was created in the NY session, and that has no top wick. So price is going to, that means if you break this high, that means we're going high to grab liquidity above this, right? So we're going to mark these two zones anyway, but this zone should not hold. We should be heading higher. So this is the correct candle, liquidity candle. That's a 70. Yeah, that's a 7. Just to zoom in a bit. Yeah, 71 pip candle. It's a 65 pip candle. Yeah, this one. 955235. Okay, and this one is 173517. 517. So just keep in mind what I said, right? It's very important. If price, that's a very wide zone. If you look at the 4 hour, so I've said this many times before, sometimes if the zones are very wide, you will find two liquidity candles in it, right? Sometimes, not always. That's a 175 pip zone. It's a very wide zone, so there are two liquidity candles. Sometimes there are, but both of them may not work, or I mean, one of them out of the two may not work. So this might be one of those situations um, where price, if we break above this high, we are heading there. That's where we're heading. We're headed to 2750, and then probably this liquidity candle right here, because above this 4 high, this is the 4 candle open. This high is 275,143, and we should be heading above that high to this candle. So I'm anticipating a move from here down, but the problem is 2750. That's the issue, right? I would rather see a close 15-minute candle close below 2750 to take sells coming down, because that should be about 130, 140 pip move down. So I would like to see a 15-minute close below 2750. After we come to the liquidity candle, M30 resistance forms, and then a 15-minute candle close below 2750 to come down. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in detail later on, once we see price action form in these areas. Okay, let's not worry about that right now. We don't need to get ahead of ourselves. Um, okay, so that's a liquidity candle that we've identified, one there and one up there, right? Now, here on the 1 hour, in this zone, there is this candle. That's an obvious one. That's a 108 pip candle. This zone 2 is a very large zone. That's a 138 pip zone. But I think there's just only one liquidity candle in there. Okay, let's look at it on the 30-minute. Yeah, it's still that same candle. Sorry. Yeah, it's that candle. Let's go down to the 15-minute. It's 108 pip candle. 70 pips. 56. 64. 69. Let's come there. 69 also. Okay, we'll have to do the numbers on this, I think. I think I did this, right? 790, 0.97. It's okay. Yeah, 693. 691. 69.7. Yeah. That's the candle we had tapped into yesterday. Yeah. So we've tapped into this liquidity candle once. This was in the Asian session and then pre-NY session yesterday. So if we break above this high, we are coming above these highs for sure, right? If we break above this high, so that's a good 100 and yeah, 130, 140 pip move up. So if we get through, if we go through this candle, then what you would want to do is, if you break this high, wait for that pullback and wait for M30 support to be created and take the trade coming all the way up here, because that'll be a fairly nice move, over 200 pip move going up there. Okay, 790097, 790097. Okay, yeah, all right. Not going to be worried about. I don't think we're going to move that further up today, but these are this is the roadmap for today, for the NY Open. NY session has just opened, for the NY Open, for the NYSE Open, and for the latter half of the NY session today, and also for tomorrow Asian and London session, right? You can use the same analysis for Asian and London tomorrow, and even the NY session tomorrow, right? Because price might not make a 400 pip move today up. It might just react somewhere here, right? So these zones are all valid. The zones that I've drawn, you can use them on your charts. These zones are all valid. That's why I keep extending them to the right, because these zones are valid. Okay. Right, now we wait. Okay, so we've broken above the highs. As I said, we needed to create a higher high. So now we've broken above the highs. So we can continue up. So the next area is 2750. And then just above 2750, about 24 pips above that, 25 pips above that, is the liquidity candle. Okay. So that's where I'm going to have my eyes on that area. I want to see M30 resistance being created. And then ideally a 15-minute close below 2750 for price to push down. So I'm anticipating a move that'll go up here and break above this candle high. Okay, that's the anticipation. Just give me a second. Yeah, this is 37 pips away. It's If price was down here, I would have been happy to take a trade, but not here. Okay, I'm not a breakout trader. Let's look at this candle. This is 1400 as one low break. Yeah, I need to see price come down. Um, okay. Okay, let's take a look at the what price has done so far in the Asian and London session. It's done nothing. It's just range, right? We can see from the latter half of the NY session yesterday, we're just ranging. We're just moving sideways. So, but let's take a look at it. Let's just see what price has done. Where did the market open? Okay, that's the market open right there. Okay, that candle. It's the high. Yeah. 512. Okay. It's the Asian low. 789. Okay. Then, yeah, that's the London low. That's the London high. Okay. So Asian session prices moved about 70 pips. London session we've moved about 100 pips. So nothing much, right? And that's why you can see just 122 pips prices moved today. Um, we have quite a bit of a move left for today. The daily candle is just, yeah, it's really small compared to yesterday's daily candle. It was on 400 plus 400 pip candle. Okay, so we have closed above the London high. We've got a 15-minute close above the London high. We are pushing higher. For me to take buys, I would have wanted to take buys down here. I need to see a pullback to be able to take buys. I'm not going to buy up here because 2750 is right there. So, but if I get a pullback somewhere here, back in this area, then that's a better move to take, right? But I want to see a pullback and then maybe M30 support form and then take it. The reason M30 support and M30 resistance is because we're moving sideways right now. On the 30 on the smaller time frames, at least on the 30 minutes, on the 1 hour, the 30-minute, and the 15-minute, we're moving sideways. On the daily time frame, on the weekly, yes, we are bullish, but on if you're a session trader and on the session time frames, we are moving sideways, right? So that is why I want to see confirmation, M30 pullback, M30 support created, then a trade to go up, or price comes here, wait for M30 resistance to be created either here or here or here, and then for a trade to come down, right? So I want to see either M30 support or M30 resistance being created, take a trade. I'm not going to just buy the breakout. All right. So we so so what's happened is price has closed above the London high. We've got a 15-minute close and a 30-minute close above the London high. But this candle has no top wick. But even though it doesn't have a top wick, we've closed above the London high. So that uh, should that's a signal that we're heading higher. Uh, we might have a pullback because there is no top wick on this. We might have a pullback, but we are heading higher. We're heading towards 2750 and then possibly towards the liquidity candle. That's where we're heading towards. Okay, so but I can't. So we formed M30 support here, but I can't trade because that is just 30 pips away, 35 pips away. 2750 is 35 pips away. It's not enough room to move. Um, right? So I need to see price pull back further to be able to take at least to have a 80-90 pip move up. All right. So yeah, so I have one candle. We have M30 support created, and you have one candle that has broken this low. I need to have another one down here to be able to draw my fib and take a trade. Let's see, we've got a, we have to wait for this candle to close and also the next one. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for the next candle to close as well. I think the next candle might pull down because the next 15-minute candle might pull down because this candle has no top wick. So this 15-minute candle will might close here, and the next one might pull back down. We are having some sort of rejection here. Let's see. Let's see if that happens. If the next one pulls back down, might be able to get an entry. If it pulls further down, not here, I need it to come down further to be able to take an entry. I'm not going to buy. I know the price is heading up, but I'm not going to just buy the breakout because it's not worth it. The 30 pips is not worth it taking a trade. We're heading into 2750. That's a liquidity area. We are at the EMAs, at one of the EMAs, so that's also may pose a problem. Then there's a liquidity candle right here, right? And there is a 4-hour supply zone right here. So there's a lot of barriers here for price to push through. So better to wait for a pullback, if at all. Wait for a pullback if you want to take buys. It might not do that, but it's better to be cautious, wait for that pullback if it happens, and then look for a trade to go up. We've created a new high. Very likely that price will continue to push up without a pullback. Very likely. I've seen this happen. Right, price closes above, the next 15-minute candle breaks, and we just continue higher. Might have a small pullback somewhere here, and then we just continue higher. That's fine. Right? Doesn't if I don't get a buy trade here, that's absolutely fine. Patiently wait for price to go up, and let's see how price reacts at this candle or higher. All right. So I'll be back in a bit. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, we're pushing up. Continue to push up. Let's see. Um, yeah, a lot of wait for to see if we're gonna have a pullback, but I doubt it. We might just tap this area, tap the London high or the Asian high. The London high and the Asian high honestly are the exact same level, right? Just maybe like a one pip apart from each other. So you can consider the Asian high and the London high the same because price was just ranging today all day until this breakout that just happened. So we might come back, tap into this area, and then just continue to push up. Um, yeah, might get that pullback now. Let's see. Price has to come to this area, and I don't think it will. Price has to come to this area for me to be interested in buys, and I don't think it will because it's grabbed enough liquidity, and we've closed above the Asian high and the London high to continue higher. So it doesn't need to come back down anymore. We should continue down. But the reason I won't take buys is because this is just not enough for me. 30, 40 pips is just not enough. I need to have a 80, 70, 80 plus move at least or more. So I need price somewhere here to push up. Yeah. Yeah, market's extremely slow. Nothing's happened in with NY Open. Absolutely nothing. It's very, very slow. It's like I said yesterday, it's the last week of the month, and very likely the market's waiting for um the FOMC press conference tomorrow, Wednesday, second half of NY session, right? That'll give direction of where the Fed is, what the Fed is planning to do with the dollar. So the market's probably waiting for that in anticipation of that. So things can be slow. Um, and I said this week, the streams are going to be shorter streams, maybe just an hour, just a little over an hour. I'll do the analysis, but I'm just going to, I might not be taking any trades. Now, just like I said, we tapped that area again, and we're heading higher. So there is no pullback, and there's unlikely there's going to be a pullback because price has grabbed liquidity from that liquidity candle in the London session, right? So that was the liquidity candle. We grabbed liquidity. We are pushing up. If price didn't close above the London high, then there was a chance that price would come back for to grab liquidity. Once it closes above, once there is a M15 or M30 close above the London high, there is very little chance for price to pull back to the liquidity candle to grab liquidity to head higher. Very little chance, right? Almost none. So that's probably what's happening right now. We tapped this area, the Asian high, the London high, and we're pushing up. And where are we pushing to? We're pushing above this H4 candle high. This high is 2751.43. You can see 2751.5. That's where we're heading to. So that's about 45 pips away, right? And that's where we're heading to. So for those who wanted to enter here, you can look at getting a 60 pip trade from here, right? I said the price could tap, but then where is going to where are you going to put your stop loss based on what? That's something that you need to consider, right? That's I enter in a different way. I have a fib model that I use, M15 fib model that I use to enter. So for that, price needs to pull back. It needs to break a minimum of two previous M15 lows. So I start checking from pre-NY, from the open of pre-NY. So that is 1400 hours on IC market server time. So that is one low break. I need to have another M15 low being broken so I can draw the fib to take a pending order, to place a pending order to head up. Because then, once that happens, at the end of that fib is where my stop loss would go, right? Because there is the liquidity candle is too far away, and it's unlikely price is coming back to the liquidity candle. So, like for example, if this candle broke this low, it didn't, but let's say M50, we are heading higher. If this candle had broken this low, this M15 candle had broken this candle low, then this is how I would draw the fib from that low to this, because this candle broke this low, this one, if it broke this low, that's what I would draw. And then I would place my pending orders here to take a trade going up here. That's about a 70, maybe 80 pip move. Stop loss under there, about a 30 pip stop loss under there to take a trade going up, right? Because we've already created M30 support, but it should have broken the low. It didn't, so I cannot draw the fib. But that's the entry method that I use. So then I know when I use that entry method, I know exactly where my stop loss goes. So if you are a breakout trader, then you need to decide where is your stop loss, your stop loss going under the 15-minute candle. That the the previous M15 candle that price broke, or are you going to put it under the M30 candle swing, M30 swing low? Are you going to put it there? You need to decide depending on what entry method you use. Now we are heading higher, exactly as I said. We're heading higher. We're heading above this candle high. All right, 51.43. That's where we're heading, above 51.43. That's where price is heading, and it should come to this area. And for those looking to take sells, you need to wait for clear M30 resistance to form, right? Wait, because price is sideways. Wait for M30 resistance to form to take a trade to come down, and be careful of this 2750. So what I would want to see is a close back below 2750, or this, yeah, 2750 is better. A close below 2750, M15 candle close below 2750. Doesn't have to be an M30 candle close, can be an M15 candle close below 2750, as long as M30 resistance, clear M30 resistance has formed. Not a doji, not a M30 bearish candle doji, but a clear M30 resistance. Like for example, this is clear M30 support being formed, right? This is clear M30 resistance form, right? This is clear M30 resistance. This is clear M30 resistance. I'll show you what is not. Um, for example, this is not, this is M30 support form, but this is a doji. So I don't consider this as clear M30 support being formed, right? Can you see the difference? This is M30 support formed, a bullish candle close, but it's clear. You can see a rejection, and price continue to push up after that. This is a doji, though it's a bullish close, it's a bullish doji, right? So that I don't consider as that is M30 support, but I don't consider that as a candle that I would look to start to take buys from, because that's a doji. This is clear M30 resistance. So after this, I can look for sells coming down. Same here. After this M30 resistance form, I can look for sells to come down. After this M30 resistance form, I can look for sells to come down. After this M30 support form, I can look for trade buys to go up, right? After this clear M30 support form, I can look for buys to go up. So when you have a bearish candle close and a M30 candle, a clear M30 bullish candle close after that, that's M30 support being formed. Same here, right? But whenever you have a doji, then I don't consider that as a clear directional change. Yeah, so we are heading high. We grab liquidity, just like I said, we grab liquidity uh, back. So the candle closed above. The next candle grabbed liquidity from the Asian and the London high, and it's pushed up 40 odd pips. So those who wanted to take those trades could have, but then you just need to, according to your entry method, decide where you're going to place your stop loss. Is it going to be under one of these candles or under the swing low here? But that is the direction. I said where we're heading. So that's the reason I mapped these out, because this is a road, this is a map of what price is going to be doing um, with the NY open, and then also with the NYSE open. All right, so trends are slow. As I said yesterday, I'm not going to be taking trades this week. I want to wait for Feb, and there's a reason for that. Fundamentally, I want to wait to see what's going to happen with the US dollar in Feb, because Feb is when the tariffs are supposed to be imposed. So that should strengthen the dollar. So it's best to wait for that to kick in. Uh, you can trade, there's no harm in taking trades. These are all tradable opportunities that I give out here. Those are all tradable opportunities. Just because I don't trade it, that doesn't mean that these can't be traded. These can easily be traded. I said that price would tap this area, and it exactly did. So you can place your stop loss wherever you're comfortable with and look to take a trade up here. That's a good 60, 70 pip move going up, right? And price should head to this liquidity candle also. So we should, that could turn out to be a 80, 90 pip move. But I want to see a structure form on the daily, right? So what I would like to see is price start to come down as the dollar strengthens, price start to come down, and then start to have better daily structure, 4-hour structure. Just as price went up, creating 4-hour structure, I want to see price start coming down with 4-hour structure and daily structure, where I can look for those pullbacks and take those trades coming down. All right. So that's me personally. That's what I want to see. So I'm not really keen on taking trades this week. Right? If there is a clear opportunity, I'll take it. But otherwise, I'm going to wait for Feb. right? Next week is NFP, so we should have a lot of volume next week, and also next week is when the tariffs are going to start. The tariffs are going to kick in, um, and then that should also strengthen the dollar, right? Okay, all right. So that's it from me. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do our analysis. So again, for those who are going to be watching the chart over the next couple of hours, next 2 to 3 hours, who are going to be trading the next 2 to 3 hours, wait for M30 resistance to form. I showed you examples of M30 resistance very clearly here. That's M30 resistance, that's M30 resistance, that's M30 resistance. Wait for clear M30 resistance to be formed. This is M30 support being formed. Okay, wait for that and then look to take the trade. Always remember this: if price gets into a high liquidity candle, the safer stop loss is always above a high liquidity candle if you're looking for sells, or below a high liquidity candle if you're looking for buys, right? But if it doesn't get into a high liquidity candle, then obviously you can't use the high liquidity candle as an area to place a stop loss. You have to use, if price grabs liquidity from 2750, then you need to place your stop loss above the M30 candle that created resistance, right? You cannot place it above there, here. Um, yeah, so, all right, that's it from me. Be back tomorrow 7:30 a.m. EST, and we'll do our prep work as usual, and then see if there are any opportunities. Okay. If you are looking again for sells, wait for M30 resistance, and also after you see clear M30 resistance, best to wait for a M15 candle close below 2750, right? Your stop loss, your safer stop loss would be above an M30, the high liquidity candle, right? So if it is here, then obviously above this candle high. If it gets up here, above this candle high. If it gets up here, then above this candle high right here, okay? And then if it gets up here and you're coming down, if it gets up here, if you see M30 resistance form here and price is coming down, wait for uh, M15 candle close below 2750 to take sells. After it closes, after M50, after you have M15 candle close below 2750, wait for a bit of a pullback and then take a sell. Stop loss above your high liquidity candle. A more aggressive stop loss would be above the M30 candle high that created resistance. And then your TPs would be the Asian low, right, which is there. That's the Asian low. So the Asian low is around, so you're looking at 2738 as partial TPs, and then the London low, right, which is 2735. So 2738, 2735 would be your TP levels. If you get a trade coming down, that's about 120 pip move, 140 pip move coming down, right? Uh, if I'm going to put an alert and check back in about an hour and see if there is something similar to what I just said, right? What I've visualized, if I see something similar to that print on the chart, then I'll have more confidence in taking sells, right? Other than that, that's the only idea. It's only sells. Buys would be from down here for the next 1 hour 20 minutes, right? Because in 1 hour 20 minutes, you're going to have a 4 hour candle close. All right. Once the 4 hour candle, we don't know where the 4 hour candle is going to close. It's a long time for the 4 hour candle to close. We could close, if this candle closes bullish, then your 4 hour zone has to be readjusted here, right? It's going to come up here because this is going to be a base-in candle because this candle has more collective wick than it has body. So that's going to be your base then, right? That's going to be your base all the way up to there. It's 125 pip base. So you're going to have to readjust it and maybe a pullback there to take a trade going up. But that's all guesswork because we have no idea where the 4 hour candle is going to close. It might go up, come down, and close bearish. No idea, right? So it's a long time for the 4 hour candle to close. So for buys, you're going to have to wait for the 4 hour candle to close to see what happens. to see if there are any buy opportunities. For sells, I've already given the ideas. We're going to come back tomorrow, and when we do our recap, we're going to have a look at to see if those sells played out or not. All right. Okay. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care. Have a great rest.